Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. Merry Christmas. How's everyone doing this morning? Let me catch up my chat. I'm doing okay this morning. I'm a little scatterbrained as usual. Anyhow, I thought this morning we would read about a vintage crime that happened the Christmas of 1929. And it was the murder of the Lawson family. It's called Bloody Christmas 1929, the Lawson Family Massacre. Now, I did a video on this, I believe, last year. I think maybe I put it on my Patreon. I'm not sure, but I looked through the true crime news this morning and I was like, I didn't see anything that really caught my eye. Of course, there was a lot of awful crimes in there. But I decided since it's almost Christmas to do a Christmas murder. I know that sounds awful, doesn't it? Hey, Leroy, how are you doing? Charlene, Melanie, Hibiscus, Faithful One. How are y'all doing? Leroy, Coffee, I need your help. What do you need my help with, honey? Are you feeling okay? You can email me or I think you have my number. You can text me. If you text me, let me know who you are because, like, I get a lot of spam text calls. Anyhow, we'll wait for some people to get in here and then we will start. Also, Friday, I believe it's Friday morning, Mike and I are going to be discussing the John Benet Ramsey case because it's been 25 years since her murder. I can't believe it's been that long. Well, yeah, I can because I can remember being a kid when that happened, being at my granny's, and it was like all over the news. It's hard to believe that case has still not been solved. Maybe one day it will be. Who knows? Okay, let me catch up my chat here while we're waiting on people. Let me find my article about it. Hold on. Here, I have it. Let's share it. I love vintage true crime. I don't know about y'all, but there's a lot of crazy crimes that you know happened back in the old days, as I like to call them. Here is actually the Lawson family. I think I actually watched a movie about this once. Let's see. Lawson family homestead. It's no longer standing. Look where they lived at, guys. We'll read all this in a little bit. The crazy thing about this man killed his entire family. The father of the family did. Before he killed them, he bought them all new clothes and took them to have that photograph made, which was a big thing back then. Because it cost quite a bit of money to have your photograph made back then. Let me look at the chat. I need meds that cost $20. My surgery is postponed. Oh my goodness, Leroy. I'm sorry to hear that. My daughter was born just a few weeks after her murder, after John Benet's murder. I often wonder what she would have looked like as a grown woman. I bet she would have been beautiful because she was a beautiful child without the makeup, without all the beauty pageant stuff on. Okay, so let's just get into it. People can watch the replay or rewind. We're going to get into this because this is a long read. Okay. The story of the Lawson Massacre shakes me every time. I heard about this story a couple months back, and I became obsessed with it. This is what the writer said. Even though it was almost a century ago, it's still an insane story. It starts in 1927 when Charles Lawson, his wife Fanny, and his 7 children moved to a farm in Germantown, North Carolina, a small town north of Winston-Salem. Shortly before Christmas 1929, Charles Lawson took his wife and their 7 children, Mary, age 17, Arthur, age 16, Carrie, age 12, Maybelle, age 7, James, age 4, Raymond, age 2, and Mary Lou, 4 months old, into town to buy them new clothes and have a family portrait taken. Having a portrait taken was a rare, unusual, and slightly suspicious event because the Lawsons worked as tenant tobacco farmers, and excuse me, and photos cost a lot of money back then, since a photo would cost nearly as much as a spontaneous trip to Disney World, emptying the savings account of a middle class farming family. Many people believe Charles Lawson wanted this photo as the final legacy of his family frozen in time forever. On the afternoon of December 25th, Marie, the eldest sister, was baking a cake for Christmas. Little did she know that that cake would be still untouched 5 years later. The bloody Christmas massacre began as Charles Lawson first shot his youngest daughter Carrie and Maybelle with a 12-gauge shotgun. He placed their bodies in the tobacco barn. He then returned to the house, shot his wife Fanny. When teenage Marie heard the gunshot that killed her mother, she screamed, and the 2 youngest boys, James and Raymond, ran and tried to hide from the terror that was unfolding. Charles then proceeded to kill Marie, eventually found the boys and killed them as well. Charles then killed his 4-month-old baby, Mary Lou. It is said she was beaten to death. Several hours later, Charles went into the nearby woods and committed suicide. The bodies of the family members were found with their arms crossed and rocks under their heads. Arthur, the eldest son, was the only survivor of the family. He was sent out on an errand just before the crime was committed. Sadly, in 1945, Arthur was killed in a car accident at the age of 32. After the murders, one of Charles's brothers, Marion Lawson, opened the house as a tourist attraction. In the 5 years the house was on display, it brought thousands of people, inspiring many songs and even a movie. Solving the mystery, why did Lawson massacre his family? The big question on everyone's mind is why. What caused an average, everyday family man with a wife, 7 children, to snap, brutally murder his entire clan? Here are a few theories and clues that might help shed light on this bloody Christmas Day massacre. Theory 1, Charles Lawson's recent head injury. A couple months before the event, Charles Lawson had sustained a head injury while digging a ditch on his farm. For years, family and friends of the Lawsons theorized that it had altered his mental state and was the cause of the massacre. Some say he was never the same after the injury. However, an autopsy and analysis of his brain at Johns Hopkins Hospital in Baltimore, Maryland, found no it wasn't abnormal, y'all. I can't say that word this morning. Theory 2. Charles impregnated his teenage daughter. First chronicled in the book White Christmas, Bloody Christmas, published in 1990 by Elmbridge Jones and Trudy J. Smith, claimed an incestuous relationship between Charles and eldest daughter Marie. Surfaced beginning with an anonymous source who heard the rumor during a tour of the Lawson family home after the murders. The day before the book was to be published, an author received a phone call from Stella Lawson, the daughter of Marion Lawson. Stella said that she had overheard Fanny's sister-in-law and aunts, including Stella's mother, Jetty Lawson, discussing how Fanny had confided in them that she had been concerned about an incestuous relationship between Charles and Marie. Jetty died in May of 1928, meaning Fanny had been suspicious of the incestuous relationship long before the murders took place in 1929. More supporting evidence of this theory was revealed in The Meaning of Our Tears, published by the same author in 2006. A friend of Marie, Ella May, revealed that a few weeks before the murders, Marie told her that she was pregnant with her father's baby. When they found Charles Lawson's body, there were footprints around him, suspecting that he was pacing for a long time before he killed himself. There were also two unfinished notes in his pockets, one reading, "Troubles can cause," and the other read, "No one to blame, but it's possible that maybe Charles's shame over his daughter being pregnant may have led to the murders." In fact, if you look closely at Marie in the famous Lawson family portrait, you can see her dress looks a little tight around her midsection, which also seems to indicate a baby bump. Okay, right here. So this would be Maria, however you say it. That does look weird right there. Okay. Why Arthur was left alive. You may think that it's an insane reaction, but I think Charles' head injury played a part in the murders. The fact he took the time and money to have a photo taken shortly before he killed them, then arranged their bodies after the murders, showed that lot more was going on than just a man who killed his family out of a random violent impulse. There's also the matter of why Arthur wasn't killed, but I think the answer is simple. Arthur would have probably been the only family member capable of defending himself and his family. Plus, based on the family portrait, it seems at least part of Charles Lawson's heart wanted to see his family's name live on. It certainly has lived on, a name that invokes fear and tragedy even over a century later. According to the Charlotte Observer, published on December 28, 1929, more than 5,000 people attended the funeral service for the Lawson family. After the last rites had been conducted, the caskets were opened to permit friends to view the bodies. More than 3 hours were required for the people, forming two aisles to pass the caskets in which the remains of the 8 victims lay. As for Marie's Christmas cake, it spent years as the star attraction at the murder site and in carnival sideshows. It had to be protected by a glass cover because people were picking off the raisins as keepsakes. When the tours ended, one of the Lawsons' relatives took the cake home and eventually um, buried it. Here's their tombstones. Charlie D, and there's Fanny, Marie, James, Raymond, William, Maybelle, Carrie. I remember watching a documentary about this. and it was one of the relatives. It's before they tore the house down, and they were still letting, people come and tour inside, and I remember seeing that, cake, and it was, like, in a glass cover, and it had raisins on it. Can't remember what the name of the documentary was. It might have been in the movie that I watched. I can't remember. I think I don't think he had his daughter impregnated. I think this weirdo just snapped and just wanted rid of his family. They weren't doing too good as farmers, from what I understand. Anyways, hold on. Let me get back to my chat. I wanted to share the Lawson Family Massacre with y'all. We'll look at some more true crime. Leroy, I cried because my pancreas plus gallbladder and spleen need to come out. I'm getting infusions, but they make me sick to my stomach. Even lost 20 pounds. Sorry, you all to put my health on CC's chat. Oh, that's no big deal, Leroy. We're all praying for you, hon. I hope you get back on the transplant list. I hope you got a good family support system too. You can email me if you want. I may be able to help a little bit if you need your medicine. I'll just have to check and see, but you can email me and I'll let you know. Prayer, son. I can't imagine what you're going through being that sick. And here, I think I got problems. It could be worse. I could be sick like that. I got to keep reminding myself of things like that when I start feeling sorry for myself. Okay. So, what do y'all want to talk about now? Look at the true crime news, see what's going on. Here's another article about that 3-year-old who vanished from a playground. Let's look at it. She disappeared San Antonio. I believe we read about her yesterday. The name of the documentary is A Christmas Family Tragedy from 1997. Oh, okay. Let me write. Hold on a minute. Let me go get a pen. Let me write that down because I want to watch that again. I remember it had like the sister-in-law or somebody that was related to that family in it. And they were they were in the kitchen. I remember the kitchen looked like it was yellow or something. Oh, it's 2007, A Christmas Family Tragedy. Let me write that down. I'm going to look that up when I get off here. Listen to it while I'm straightening up around the house. Tonight, hopefully, we can play some Christmas trivia. Simple things, simple questions like everybody should know. CC, email me. I don't know if I have your email, but I just put my email in the chat. You can send me one and then I'll respond to it. Let's see if there's any. I hate to look at about children this morning. I want to look up and see if there's any more Christmas murders. I know there are. There was one that happened in Ashland, Kentucky. It's a vintage crime. And I believe it was this young girl and her friends were killed on Christmas Eve. The parents were like going to a Christmas party. I can't remember the name of it though. Let me see. I know there's got to be some more. 11 chilling Christmas murders. You probably haven't heard. Let me see. Oh, right here it is. The Ashland Massacre. Hold on. Ashland, Kentucky. Let's look it up. See, there were psychos back then, too. Ashland, Kentucky massacre. Okay, so this happened on Christmas Eve. Let's see what year it was. This is a freaking podcast. No, we don't want to listen to the podcast. The Ashland tragedy, Appalachian history. Here we go. Let's see. It says on Christmas morning, 1880. I think that they mean in 1881. I think that's what they mean. Ashland, Kentucky, the quiet burg was startled the day had not yet dawned when the cry of fire was heard. For well they knew two fair ladies. Okay, this is a freaking poem about it. We don't want to read the damn poem. We want to know what the hell happened. Let me see. Hold on. Let me click on something else. Okay, December 23rd, 1881, in Ashland, Kentucky, siblings Fanny and Robert Gibbons were joined by their next door neighbor, Emma Carrico, in what was supposed to be a cozy evening. Fanny was described as a handsome girl with a cheerful disposition and winning manners. Her brother Robert had lost a leg some years back in an awful event. And Emma, known to others as Emma Thomas, was a fine looking girl who was loved by all who knew her. The trio were all settled in, preparing for Christmas Eve when tragedy struck. George Ellis, William Neal, and Ellis Craft entered the Gibbons home and proceeded to beat the three teenagers to death with axes. Afterwards, the murderous threesome decided to set the Gibbons house on fire and fled the scene. In this article, it says not very Christmassy of them. Upon seeing the flames, Emma's mother sounded an alarm and the neighborhood descended on the property. Inside, they discovered the charred remains of Fanny, Robert, and Emma. Shortly after the crime, Ellis confessed to police and implicated his accomplices, Neal and Kraft. The three were put on trial on January 16th. The following day, Neal and Kraft were found guilty after a 10-day trial and sentenced to death. Kraft was hanged on October 12, 1883, and Neal on March 27, 1885. Ellis, however, was given only a life sentence, but an angry mob would make sure that he got the same sentence as his accomplices. The night Ellis was sentenced, a mob broke into his jail cell, dragged him out where he was promptly lynched. The legacy of Fanny, Robert, and Emma has since been immortalized in the form of a song that you probably won't hear among the other Christmas hits. Let me see if I got a picture of them. Oh, here's the men that did it. See, they were psychos even back then, 1881. There's the men. G. Ellis, W. Neal, E. Kraft. They were accused breaking in, beating those young teenagers to death, and then setting the house on fire. Actually, it was December 23rd, 1881. I never would have knew about those cases if I hadn't looked up vintage Christmas murders. I started to say crime last year. Let me see what y'all are saying. CC, it's sent. Okay. I'll email you back, Leroy, when I get off here, okay? Now let's look at the true crime, even though I don't want to. See what's going on in the world this morning. We read about this Amber Alert yesterday. 3-year-old vanished on playground. FBI joins investigation. So this is in San Antonio. Police in San Antonio have released more details about the search for a 3-year-old girl who disappeared a full day ago. Lena Sardar Kill, I guess that's how you say that, disappeared early Monday evening while she was at a playground at her San Antonio apartment complex. San Antonio Police Chief William McManus said at a press conference Tuesday that investigators were using all available resources, including surveillance footage and resident interviews. The police chief indicated there has been progress in the investigation since Monday evening, when authorities had not yet determined whether there were potential witnesses who may provide information. Okay, what? The police chief said there had been progress in the investigation since Monday evening. That didn't make sense to me. Okay. There were other folks with their children in the playground, McManus said on Tuesday, adding that investigators had identified most but not all of the adults. This goes on for 24 hours a day, and we're doing it right now, and we will continue this until hopefully we find Lena, but we are not stopping at the end of the shift. This will be continuous, the police chief said. He also noted that no one was being permitted in or out of the complex without speaking to a officer. Okay, McManus reportedly said at Tuesday's news conference, Lena's mother lost track of her daughter around 5 p.m. Monday when she briefly stepped away from the playground, returning to discover that her daughter was missing. Authorities appear to be unclear about exactly how long the mother was separated from her daughter. The family reported the girl missing at 7:15 p.m. Monday. The police began searching right away. The FBI has now joined the investigation. Texas authority had issued an Amber Alert, indicated they believe the girl may have been abducted, but have not provided any information about a possible suspect or vehicle, which is typically a condition of Amber Alerts. We're not stopping at the end of the shift. We will be continuous until this girl is found, McManus reportedly said at a press conference. We're not waiting for others. We have a command bus. We will do this for the long haul if necessary. Law enforcement said the girl's mother, who speaks an uncommon Arabic dialect that required the intervention of a translator, has been cooperative with the investigation. So Lena is described 4 feet tall, 55 pounds, dark shoulder length hair that was in a ponytail when she disappeared. She was last seen wearing a red dress, black shoes, and a black jacket. Anyone with information is urged to contact the San Antonio Police Department Missing Persons Unit 210-207-7660. She must have been abducted. They got the surveillance video pulled, though. If she was abducted, hopefully it was caught on camera. Hopefully they can find her safe and sound. I don't feel like, I don't know a lot of details, but I don't feel like the mother's involved. I could be wrong. Seems like the little girl was playing on the playground. The mom stepped away for a minute. Don't know how long. Came back and the kid was gone. She could have easily been abducted. Someone from that apartment complex could have took her inside one of their apartments. Who knows? Let's pray that she's found safe and sound. Let me look here. Is it Ursula? Hey, Ursula. Welcome, hon. Hey, Mike. How are you doing? Let's see what else is going on in the true crime news this morning. I looked for something for Summer this morning, Summer Wells. I didn't see anything. Also look see if there's any updates on Sarm Heslop. I didn't see anything about that either. Um, let's see. What else is going on? Oh, this is sad. Their presents are still under the tree. Distraught moms, 3 children killed by alleged drunk driver. Oh, let's read this. This is sad. I'm good, Mike. I feel pretty good this morning. I've been in a good mood for several days. It's Christmas. I'm in the Christmas spirit. Okay, so these 3 kids, teenagers, were killed by a drunk driver. Okay, this happened in Louisiana. 3 Louisiana siblings lost their lives after another driver allegedly crashed into them Friday night, apparently while driving the wrong way. Lindy Simmons, 20, Christopher Simmons, 17, Cameron Simmons, 15, died when a truck smashed into them while driving on Interstate 49 near St. Landry Parish. The children's mother, Dawn Simmons, along with Christopher's girlfriend, Marissa, was rushed to a local hospital following the crash. Police say a suspect identified as 54-year-old John Lundy was driving the wrong way on Interstate 49 when he crashed into the Simmons family SUV. Both Lundy and Lindy Simmons were pronounced dead at the scene, while Cameron, Christopher, and the 2 women were rushed to the hospital. Dawn and Marissa are expected to survive, but both Christopher and Cameron died from injuries at the hospital. A GoFundMe page set up by the sibling's sister, Katie Simmons, indicated that Lundy was intoxicated um, when he crashed his vehicle into the family. Trooper Thomas Gosson with Louisiana State troopers, however, indicated that authorities are waiting for toxicology samples, which are currently pending at the Louisiana State Police Crime Lab. Oh, Kathy Simmons on Sunday. See you again soon, kiddos. Even so, come Lord Jesus. Oh, this is so sad. A selfish scum of the earth human decided to get behind the wheel intoxicated, the GoFundMe page reads. This person was driving north in the southbound lane on the interstate, plowed head on to my family's car. According to the police, Lundy also died after the crash. Daily Mail reports that he was from Dallas, Georgia. The Advocate reports that police confirmed Lundy drove his 2005 Chevrolet Colorado pickup truck the wrong way down the interstate in the southbound lanes. Lundy was the only person in his truck. The absolute hardest part of this entire experience, next to losing my siblings, is knowing that my mom will be informed of this whenever she awakens. Do Ruin said? I think that's like the eldest daughter. It is absolutely gut wrenching for me to share this, and I am passionately sharing in hopes of raising awareness of how devastating getting behind the wheel intoxicated can be. We are crushed. We are empty. We are devastated. We are in disbelief. We are hurting. We don't know how we will ever find joy in anything again. The Louisiana State Police continue to investigate the crash. This is totally sad. We had something similar happen here around the holidays. Maybe a year before I started YouTube, this family was in here visiting family from here in the mountains. They were in 2 separate cars. The police decided to do a sobriety checkpoint in the middle of the 4 lane, right? This lady turned on the road check, started going down the wrong side of the 4 lane, and she hit that family head on. It was the mother and the kids in the car. She hit them head on. She walked away fine, but she killed that whole family. And the dad was following in another vehicle. He saw that whole thing. His whole family wiped out. And turns out that woman was high on pills. High on pills. If I'm not mistaken, he may have had a kid in the car with him. Thank God. Thank God that one kid was in the car with him. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure there was only 2 people that survived out of that family. Yeah, her ass was cuffed and stuffed with vehicular manslaughter, I believe, along with a lot of other charges. Let's pray for this family. This is so sad. Look at this. Their presents are still under the tree. Oh my gosh, how are they ever going to get through this? They'll never have another joyful Christmas again. Not for a while. I mean, if ever. It's so sad. Do not drink and drive. You know, I've been wild in my days, but I've never been intoxicated driving. Ever, ever. Hey, Mandy. Yeah, Mike, it's so terrible. So sad. So sad. It just breaks my heart. I have trouble reading articles like that. It like takes my breath and I have to catch my breath. It really bothers me. Mike, I read about this case the other day. It worries me. Every time I go to the dentist, I have to travel down that same 4 lane where that woman turned on that road check, got on the wrong side of the 4 lane driving, and killed that family. I have to go right by that. And it always makes me so nervous. That happened to Mark when he worked selling furniture. He went with one of the delivery drivers one day, and here come this man down the wrong side of the 4 lane. About hit him. Thank God he turned his wheel and ran off the medium and stuff. Flipped his vehicle. He was high as hell. But thankfully, he didn't kill anybody and he didn't kill himself. You just never know. Never know when some weirdo will get on the wrong side of the road. I get nervous anymore in the car. The people out here. I know, and I do too. I get real nervous. I don't like people that drive real fast. It's like, go the speed limit. You know, that's fast enough. Go the speed limit. Anyhow, what are y'all going to do today? I knew 2 people who were killed by intoxicated drivers. So sad. Actually, we know someone else. His sister and, let's see, his sister, his mom, and his niece were all killed by a drunk driver. This has just been about 3 years ago, and he was driving down the wrong side of the 4 lane too. I believe that happened in Abington, though. They went to Abington. I believe it was Abington. Went down there shopping and got killed. I think that guy was on pills. Let me get back to my chat here. Hey, Vicky. Good morning. How are you? Getting a haircut today after work. That's pretty much it. Well, I'm just going to, clean up my dog's mess as usual. Oh my gosh, they shed hair everywhere, y'all, and I can't stand it. I got to clean it up. I'm in there vacuuming my little rugs in front of my door 2, 3 times a day. I can't stand the hair on them. Thank God I got like laminated flooring so the hair don't how hair like will stick down in carpet? Thank God I got laminated and I can just sweep it up. Oh, it's all right, Linda, if you're late. I've just been goofing off. We read some vintage crime, I can't talk, true crime cases this morning. And that's about it. We read some true crime news where these kids were killed by a drunk driver. Very, very sad. Very sad. Anyways, guys, I've been kind of boring this morning. I'm sorry. Hopefully, we'll have some fun tonight when we play Christmas trivia. I just been, gosh, I just had so much to do this morning. I just didn't really have time to prepare for my stream. Seems like it's like that a lot around here. I was a nurse for years, and I'd rather pick up the puppy poo. Yeah, I've had a dog hair splinter in my foot. Vicky, I thought I was the only one that ever happened to. One day on the bottom of my foot, something was poking me, and it was hurting like crap. And I looked at the bottom of my foot, and one of Skylar's hairs was stuck in my foot like a splinter. It hurt like hell. No, you don't got to be a member to play. No, it's going to be for all subscribers. All subscribers. We'll do a member stream. Maybe New Year's Eve, something like that. But anyways, I'm gonna get off here, get some things done. I actually got to run over to the funny farm, take Annabelle some pellets because I forgot them this morning. And she likes them put out in her little black tray on the fence, even though she's got pellets inside of her shed. I have to go put some in her black tray. All my animals are spoiled, y'all. Spoiled beyond belief. It's not even funny. I only have one dog that sheds, but it's very minimal. Oh my God, Skylar, you can't even touch her back. Hair comes off everywhere. And I brush her constantly. It's just her breed. She gets up on the couch. I mean, there's hair everywhere. And here I am over vacuuming it. If I wear black, I can't even let them touch me till I get out of the house. See, YouTube isn't sending my notices right. Maybe unsubscribe, subscribe back, Linda, and hit the notification bell. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes YouTube just sucks at sending notifications. I will get a notification of someone going live, and I'll click on it, and they've been live like 30 minutes before YouTube even notified me. YouTube sucks at their job sometimes. Hey, Blue West. Merry Christmas. Anyways, guys, I'm going to get off here and get some things done. And I will see you guys this evening for some Christmas trivia, probably around 7:30. Anyways, be safe, be kind. Peace.